Hey, what is up, guys? It's Sky, and the news came out this week that Activision is charging for its latest DLC for Modern Warfare Remastered, the Variety Map Pack. And the news came at the wake of a lot of backlash from some very important figures in the Call of Duty community, including T. Martin and Drifter. And this is even a small part of an even bigger picture. Basically, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare is one of the biggest busts in Call of Duty history, or rather even the video game industry as a whole. And I played like 2 or 3 rounds in Infinite Warfare before I put it down, but word around the community is that the overall quality of the game isn't good. And some figures in the community, like Optic Nadeshot and Drifter and T. Martin, have all pretty much come to the conclusion that Infinite Warfare isn't worth playing. And if you guys didn't know, the Modern Warfare Remastered is actually almost DLC for Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Namely, you actually have to buy Call of Duty Infinite Warfare and pay an extra $20 for Modern Warfare Remastered. All in all, you're pretty much getting Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare with updated graphics and sound. And from what I understand, they tweaked the multiplayer a little bit, but I'm not a hardcore enough Call of Duty player to notice. But I have dabbled in Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered, and from what I understand, initially the plan was not to release any DLC. But what's interesting is that most of the Call of Duty community has pretty much gravitated toward Modern Warfare Remastered and are pretty much letting Infinite Warfare out to die. So somewhere along the line, a couple months ago, I didn't really keep up, but they started releasing loot crate style supply drops. And in the supply drops, you can get like camos and stuff, basically like battle packs. And they basically added a bunch of microtransaction DLC. And they turned Modern Warfare Remastered into almost its own little standalone game. And actually, a couple months ago, they had released a map pack for Modern Warfare Remastered, and they didn't charge for it. But now that Activision's charging for it, there's been a huge backlash in the community. Now, me personally, if I think a game is worth it, then I don't mind paying for content. I'm a grown-up with a full-time job, and the only resource barrier between me and my gaming is not money, but time. I mean, if you think about it, every Call of Duty that it releases is pretty much a map pack or DLC for Call of Duty. The game's been pretty much running on the same engine since Modern Warfare. And to quote the late King Tyrannus Manethil after the fall of the Lich King in World of Warcraft, "No king rules forever." And that kind of tells you how much of a geek I am, and the fact that my gaming roots don't really go back to the Modern Warfare days. I'm old enough to have had a Nintendo Entertainment System back in its heyday, and I remember trying to play Quake on dial-up, and then there was Unreal after that. And then back in my college days, Halo 2 was pretty big, but I didn't have a Xbox, so I was more busy playing games like Final Fantasy 11 and World of Warcraft. And then when Xbox 360 came out, the Madden games were really big. And then Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare came along and pretty much changed the game after that. It was a product of the times. It was basically the best the Xbox 360 could do. I mean, 6v6, and the netcode and controls and frame rate were smooth as butter, and it looked pretty darn good to boot. And still to this day, the Call of Duty games on the last gen Xbox 360 and PS3 are pretty much the best fun you can have online multiplayer. I mean, when Battlefield 3 came out, I was absolutely hooked on that game. I had it for 360 and PS3, and at the time, I thought it was the future. I thought it was amazing, and I had a ton of fun with it, but I can't go back and play it because the frame rate's not there, the netcode is so floaty, like you can hardly tell you kill anyone. And there's tons of screen tearing, but I can definitely go back and play some Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. And Black Ops 2, those games still hold up. The fact that they can release Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare with a fresh coat of paint in 2016, 2017, and still have it be great fun, just goes to prove exactly what I said earlier, that we've been pretty much playing the same game on the same engine. And there's nothing wrong with that, because I think World of Warcraft charges players $10 a month, and even more on top of that if you count expansion pack. And that game ran for a good 10 years. Activision did exactly the same thing with Call of Duty. And like I said earlier, me personally, I have no problem paying for content if it's something I enjoy. But the industry has progressed beyond Call of Duty. Basically, 6v6 with small maps just isn't good enough anymore. You play Battlefield 1, and it's not that I'm in love with Battlefield 1. It definitely has its issues, but 64 players, a damn near 60 frames per second frame rate. And to me, the netcode and controls feel just about as smooth as Call of Duty. And myself, being a casual gamer at heart, I really have no reason to go back and play Call of Duty anymore. And that's the key. For a video game to have mainstream success, you have to target the casual gamer. You're always going to have your hardcore gamers that are going to keep niche genres alive. Like, yeah, like hardcore Counter-Strike players that will play Counter-Strike and nothing else. But even Halo 5 added Warzone, which is basically a 12v12 conquest-style game mode for casual players. This is what Call of Duty lacks in the current generation. And gimmicky things like boost jumping, it's not fooling anyone. And it had the opposite effect of pretty much alienating your hardcore fan base, the ones that were going to stick with you, regardless of the fact that you're the same game you've been since 2007. So basically, this is what Call of Duty needs. However, if Call of Duty were to add that, I don't think you could call it Call of Duty anymore. It's interesting that Titanfall came along and tried to do just that, and nobody really cared. You basically take the Call of Duty engine and then add giant robots and lots of bombast. To me, it seems like a good time, although I never checked it out. And that just goes to show you that it's a lot harder than people think to create a mega hit. A lot of companies have tried to create another Call of Duty, like Crysis 2, Homefront, Doom, Medal of Honor, Warfighter, and they all failed. Just like in the wake of World of Warcraft, all the copycats came along and tried to catch lightning in a bottle. Anyways, guys, that's why I think Call of Duty failed. And it didn't really have anything to do with boost jumping or paid microtransactions. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you later.